Hello, this is Harris from County Line Nursery. Today we're going to plant a flowering cherry tree, and the bed is already prepared. The grass has been removed, and I have all the tools that you need to plant the tree, which would be a shovel, a spade, a pick, mattocks, sledgehammer. I have 5-foot stakes, some chain lock to guide the tree, and then I have my fertilizer, the Biotone fertilizer, which is a root promoter. Bumper crop compost that has lots of nutrients and good stuff in it that mixes in with the soil to improve the soil. And I also have Tree Tone. That's a slow release fertilizer that lasts like 6 months. And also last will be the organic mulch that goes on top of the root ball. And I'm going to show you how to do everything very simply. With my shovel, I know I want the tree right here in the middle of my prepared bed with no grass. So I mark that. I'm going to measure the root ball, which is approximately this size. So I center it, mark it. I know that the root ball is going to be this size, but I want it big enough so I can put my foot all the way around so I can tamp the soil and compost the fertilizer and all the good stuff. Plenty of room for the roots to grow. So now I'm going to dig the hole. I dug the hole plenty wide enough, but now I'm starting to get into the hard soil. I dug the topsoil out. Now I'm going to use my spade and start chopping the sides to make it wider and try to loosen up the hard packed dirt, which is not dirt, it's soil. I took the rest of the loose soil out. Now I'm going to use my mattocks pick to loosen up the packed soil. Notice I didn't put any soil next to the root ball because when I'm done I'm going to roll the root ball in and I don't want to have to roll it over a mountain of soil. So here goes with the mattocks. I loosened up the soil with the mattocks and I see that most of this is pretty good topsoil, so I'm going to remove that, but I saw underneath was the subsoil, which is not the good stuff. I'm going to show you what to do with that next. I was fortunate to have very good soil here, which most people don't have, but now I'm into the deeper part of the hole, which I call the subsoil. It's a different color, it's like heavy clay, could have rocks in it. I'm going to dig it a little bit deeper, and then I'm going to discard the clay soil. It's actually no good for anything. So I'm going to actually put it in this different pile to take away for the trash. It's actually no good at all. I measured the tree root ball in the hole. It's plenty big enough all the way around. I'm just going to check the depth to make sure I did it deep enough. So I'm measuring with my shovel handle to here, and I'm measuring the root ball, and it's actually pretty much perfect. So now I'm actually going to put the fertilizer in the hole. I took the Biotone root starter. It calls for 6 cups of fertilizer for a tree this size, which is a 2-inch tree. And I have 2 cups here. I'm going to put that in all around the hole, in the bottom of the hole, a little bit everywhere. Then I'm going to put a little bit of topsoil in. I'll mix some compost in with it too. This is the bumper crop compost. So I'm going to put this on top of the topsoil. I'm not going to skimp with it. I'm going to use the whole bag. More is better than less. I'm going to mix it in a little bit like this. I'm going to put some in the bottom of the hole. I actually want the tree to be a little bit on the high side. It's better to have the tree a little bit high or a lot high. The worse the drainage, the higher the tree goes. So I'm going to put the tree in the hole now. I'm not going to lift it. I don't want to have to go to the chiropractor. So I'm going to roll it in. So that's in the center of the hole. Now I'm going to backfill with a little bit of soil. It's definitely on the high side. It's sticking out probably 1 or 2 inches. That's good. So I'm going to backfill with my soil mixture. I'm just putting a little bit in all the way around. I'm mixing it up as I go. I'm only filling it in part way. Now I'm going to straighten the tree a little bit. Tamping it with my foot. My foot fits all the way around the tree because I made the tree hole big enough. Sometimes I actually use the shovel to straighten it a little bit from the bottom of the root ball because I don't want to loosen up the trunk. It's pretty straight. Now I'm going to tamp the soil with my foot, compacting it, make sure there's no air pockets in it. I'm definitely not going to water the tree until I'm done because I don't want to make a muddy mess. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to take my stakes and get them ready. I always put the stakes where the prevailing wind is. In this part of the country, it's from the northwest to the southeast. You get these northwesterly winds. So I happen to know that northwest is this direction. So I'm going to put one stake there and one stake opposite. I put it in real close to the root ball. Now I have to hit it in. This is the fun part. Some people put the stakes in before they put the tree in the hole because they don't want to accidentally hit a branch. I don't have a branch in my way, so I'm pretty good. I generally put the stake in until it won't go in anymore. Sometimes that's only 4 inches, sometimes it's a foot. The instructions on the tree tone are half dosage for new installations, so it calls for 6 cups because it's 3 cups per inch caliper. This happens to be a 2-inch tree, which translates to 6 cups. So I actually am going to put the 2 cups in now, and then I'll only put 1 cup near the end. So this is my slow release fertilizer that's going to feed it for 6 months. So I put that in. Now I'm going to put some more soil in with my compost mixture. I backfilled with my soil mixture. Now I'm going to tamp it. I'm always checking to make sure my tree is still straight. A tree is never perfectly straight because they're like people. No two are perfect. So I don't look at the top and I don't look at the trunk. I look at the overall tree and sort of look at the average. So now that I backfilled and I tamped it, I'm ready to do some more biotone fertilizer and a little bit more tree tone. And I'm going to finish. Did you notice that I never took the burlap or the rope off? A lot of people do. I don't like to because that's what's holding the root ball together. Unless of course it's potted. In a pot you would take the pot off and slit the roots with a knife to try to relieve some of the roots to go out in other directions.